Hey guys, welcome to the 85th episode of the Manny Hall Show. Man, we are almost sitting at 100 for 1 year, which is crazy. But welcome my guest today, Tanya Richardson. She is a lifestyle coach, man. I had no idea how dope and amazing this young lady was. But you guys that follow her, that connect with her, that are friends with her, you already know. But for those that don't, you're about to be awakened. Like, seriously, she has some amazing things going on and she's going to be able to share it. But let's get into the interview. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
Awesome. Please tell the people your name and what you do.
All right, so my name is Tanya Richardson. I'm also known as Ty. I am a lot of things, which is the purpose of this interview, is to reintroduce myself as a lifestyle coach. So my entire life I've been into health and wellness. I've been a trainer and a health and wellness advocate since the 90s. I went to college for exercise and fitness. I minored in dance. And so my life has taken a direct path to this place, although everyone has a journey. My journey has always been clear to me. How I would get here was not always clear to me. And so my reintroducing myself as a lifestyle coach is to share my story, because a lot of people have told me after having deep conversations with me that I touched their lives, and it was something that they will never forget. And to me, it was just me doing what I do, the way that I do it. And so I really felt convicted to take it further and to make sure that I put myself out there and stop assuming that what I have to say is not a big deal. Just embrace what it actually is, and it's love. So that's what I'm here for.
Absolutely. So for those that don't know, explain exactly what a lifestyle coach is in relation to just a life coach.
So in my opinion, what separates myself from a life coach, being a lifestyle coach, is I am a chef. I love fashion. I am absolutely into health and wellness. And I also love, like I said, to talk to people about embracing who they really are and what I call self-actualizing, which is getting to know yourself and being okay with that, and surrounding yourself with people who are okay with that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a life coach is more on the surface, and what I do is I want to make my clients feel like my best friend, like they have somebody. Even if they have somebody, but definitely if they don't. So a lifestyle coach, because I want to teach people how to have a balanced life financially. I want to teach people who aren't sure how to cook, because that's a lost art of cooking. For sure. So just teaching this generation and reminding women that it's okay to be domestic. You don't have to buy out everything just because you can't afford it. There's this sexiness about going grocery shopping and cooking at home, to me. I just think it's really intimate.
I love when my wife cooks,
right?
Like that's
just,
dope.
You know, the preparation, the smells, the serving, the
like the excitement too.
Right.
You know, like as if I'm upstairs and she's downstairs cooking, I'm like, babe, what's that? And sometimes she won't tell me, so I'm like,
sexy. See, love it. Yeah. You know, but if you go to Applebee's, I mean, it is what it is. Somebody else is serving your mate.
Right.
So just that, and just embracing things like your environment, making sure that your home is a clean and organized place. You don't have to have a lot. But what you do have needs to be organized. And when you walk into that space out of the busy, crazy world, you need to feel serenity and peace. Yeah. And that comes with having organization. And that also stems from the inside. If you have a disorganized mindset, you're going to have a disorganized environment.
Tanya, I'm loving this.
Love
because
it.
Because it's, I'll be honest, before you even said that, I had never heard of a lifestyle coach.
Okay.
And like I've heard of like, in terms of people might say like I help you with your lifestyle, but it's like more focused on fashion and your home and things of that nature. But the way that you're explaining is really, really amazing, because I feel so many people need it in so many areas. I mean, like you see, like, because what you're talking about is like more accountability, like you're helping push them towards their goals and their dreams, but really looking at every aspect of their life because it's all interconnected.
And I absolutely love the fact that you got that in less than 5 minutes. So thank you for that confirmation that I'm doing exactly what I'm meant to do.
For sure.
And that I'm coming across in the way that I intend to. I come from very humble beginnings. My parents are well educated, but we lived in the hood, but we were a family. And so I know what it's like to work for and to appreciate having a little bit and how to be happy with that little bit.
Correct.
Now, I'll say at the same time, my dad was kind of flashy, so he kept us sharp, and he
Gotcha.
also stayed really clean. My mother, so love you, mama. And so that, I think my dad kind of pulled out this quality thing. It's not about quantity. You don't have to have a lot of shoes. You don't have to have a lot of jackets and things like that. You just need to have good stuff, you know?
So to that point, how do you feel about thrifting?
Oh my gosh. I absolutely love thrifting.
Okay.
You have to go to the right places to thrift, but you know, if you don't have a lot of options, you have to have a good eye. And
okay.
That's the thing that I wish people would understand is you can mix a used $500 sweater with some Old Navy jeans, and it doesn't have to be brand new off the rack. And sometimes clothes look better, especially jeans, when they're not brand new.
Yeah, no, see, let's get into that part, because I feel like that there's a lot of mindset issues that people have. So you might not necessarily even have a deep desire to be quote unquote flashy and have all expensive stuff, but you kind of feel that I need to have this to be accepted. And if I don't, then all my homegirls or my dudes, that they got all this stuff and I don't, then they're going to be looking at me some kind of way.
Now this is where the life coach part and the lifestyle coach comes in.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier a term that I absolutely love, and it is self-actualization. Real simple concept, but if you think about it, it's self-explanatory. Just to get to a place where you know who you are and you're okay with that, and you surround yourself with people who are okay with that. So I could have spent my entire life with a childhood friend. In fact, I have had a childhood friend since I was 19 years old. We've both lived with ups and downs and so forth. Do we care what we're wearing when we go out to lunch? No. Will we compliment something that we think is attractive or whatnot? Yeah. So the issue becomes, surround yourself with people who get you. Don't try to force yourself into that round hole if you're a square peg.
I love that.
It's just not necessary. You have a tribe.
I love that. All right, now let's go back. Way back. Way before you even knew you were going to be a lifestyle coach. Did you start to see some of this developing in your teenage years?
Absolutely. So my dad tells me these stories. He has a great memory for a 70-year-old man, but my dad tells me these stories about how I've always been a helper. I would bring home kittens and, birds that fell against the window. I would bring home people, friends and family who didn't have anything to eat. I would give mine to them. In fact, I would get in trouble because I would give away too much, and to the point where I gave away dinner that night or something.
Gotcha.
But I always felt I hated to see people suffer. I hate to see suffering. And I've also always been really, my dad says nosy, but I love asking people questions about their lives and comparing them to my understanding and my experience, so that I can enrich, have a more rounded understanding of how humans behave.
I'm so glad you made that point, because you kind of made me realize why I even started the show, because I love talking to people, and just to sit there and hear their story, it gives me so much knowledge and experience. So I don't necessarily have to say that I've been to Paris, but somebody told me all the dope things about Paris. I'm like, yeah, so if you go to Paris, you got to go to this spot. They're like, how do you know? Why talking to such and such, So that's dope that you're like that too.
That's exposure.
Yeah.
Exposure shapes your reality. You don't have to actually be somewhere. You have to be exposed to the concept or the idea, or be able to visualize being there, and that's what makes it real.
Yes.
So I've always been really, really inquisitive about the human experience, and not having any, what do you want to call it, limits when it comes to, no rules. If I meet someone and I feel like they're engaging, I want to start a conversation.
What hobbies do you have outside of you being this superstar, awesome lifestyle coach?
Hobbies. So, believe it or not, because I spend 90% of my time engaging and helping and loving on other people, my hobby is Netflix. Well, we'll say the Fire Stick in general.
For sure.
Very.
All right, now let's talk about Netflix then. So let's get into it. What shows do you like? If you say something I don't like, I'm going to say I don't like that one. So go.
This is kind of harsh. Okay, so House Cards, love it before.
All right, this last season or 1, 2, 3, 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Because this last season, I'm not sure Claire couldn't quite hold it down the same. It's just a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Right? I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but Insecure. Is that on Netflix?
No, HBO.
Oh well, that is easily.
That's a good
girl.
one.
That's
Yeah,
my
for
girl.
sure.
I've watched twice because I'm kind of obsessed with Heisenberg, Breaking Bad.
Okay.
It's just so good. I love watching it. You know?
I tried to watch like the first season. I couldn't get into it,
And
but I'm not gonna say it's a bad show because I heard some great things about it.
Right, and honestly, that's one of the shows that I play in the background when I'm working on something. To kind of, 'cause I like white noise, so I'm paying attention to it, but not really when I watch
The
it.
show for me is The Office.
Never watched The Office. Never watched.
Wait a minute. You don't like funny shows?
I do like funny shows.
And you've never watched The Office?
I could not get into it. It was just a little.
Okay, so look, let's do this. After the interview, you got Netflix on your phone.
I do.
Awesome. You got one of those little stands in your car to hold the phone?
Yes, I do.
Great. White noise. Play Office in the background. You're going to be cracking up laughing.
I'll take
It's kind of like that like dry, stupid humor where it's not like drop dead funny, but no, I'm telling you, it's really, really good. A couple other shows you got to watch on Netflix. Ozark.
Man, I am caught up. I finished.
Okay,
the
well,
season. I have finished.
I
the
didn't
third
think you
season.
was a big fan because you didn't mention that in the first three that you mentioned that you like.
OMG. That's because I'm trying to limit this to Netflix,
Okay.
and I watch so many things.
Ozark is dope though. You like
Ozark
it?
is so good. It's so well thought out. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, I like the show that I can catch me off guard. 'Cause
Well,
I
no,
can
what's the
just-
main character's name with the black hair?
His name is
It's not
Justin
Peter.
Bateman?
Well, no, not in real life.
Oh.
On the show.
Is it Kevin?
Kevin, Eric, something like that.
Dang, I can't remember.
That dude is sinister, man.
He is. He says some of the craziest things with a straight face.
Did you like? Okay, no. Did you watch all of them?
Yes.
Season 2. Okay. They're in a restaurant. He gets ready to leave, and he's talking to the guy. He's still sitting down. He's like, "So you really gonna do that?" I was like, "Yeah." Like I'm about to kill him.
Yes.
Who cares?
Exactly right.
I'm just like, man, you gotta be like an evil dude to be like that. But he plays such a great role.
And he's not a bad person. He just deals with it.
Mm-hmm.
He just keeps dealing with it. Whatever happens, he just deals with it.
All right, next show, and then we about to touch on other things. Gotham.
Never watched it.
Please watch it. I had saw Gotham like as a little advertisement, cause you know like they'll just whatever they want you to watch, they gonna keep showing you over and over again at the top.
Right.
So that was what Gotham for me, and I finally like, all right, I'm gonna give it a chance. But you know, it's about Batman when he was a little kid.
Did not know that.
Yes, I didn't know that either.
Makes sense.
Right. And it shows all like the storylines behind the scenes, well not behind the scenes, but like early days of everybody. The Joker,
That
Catwoman.
just- Now I'm into it.
It's dope.
Right now I'm into it.
Please give it a chance.
Okay.
You'll love it. All
I
right.
didn't know that. Okay, cool. How many seasons? Because that's one of my qualifying
4.
factors. Oh, I'm into it.
Yeah. No, it's been some 2 seasoners that was pretty good. Not really, huh?
I'll catch you on 4. Because
Okay.
I've been so hard. 2 is not enough.
Did you kind of get mad that it's over?
I need more.
Now,
I need
what
to
if
go
it's
until I
like-
get bored.
What if it's 20 or 30 episodes in each season?
That's a good point. That's a good point. You're much better watcher than me. You gotta explore. I'm
Right.
Like, 3 seasons.
All right, now speaking of acting, why do you think so many young ladies act so well in society but never really show themselves?
Act well in society, as in being a performer,
Yes.
but never show themselves.
Yep.
Never show themselves internally or
Their
physically?
true self to the world.
Oh man, that's a loaded question. Kind of goes back to what I had to learn as a woman in the United States, and to take it a level deeper, a black woman in the United States, is there are these rules, and for the most part, rich white men made those rules.
Like, no, are they unsaid rules or just are they
There are
out
these
there?
cultural norms and understandings.
Yeah, for sure.
And these things that are taught to us as young girls, that we're supposed to play with dolls, that we're supposed to be domesticated. We're not supposed to be in the mindset of a business owner because men do that. We're supposed to be givers and caretakers and things like that. And so there are these things that we've been kind of forced to see in cartoons and even everything to make us feel like there's this role that we're supposed to play. I don't believe in those roles. So I would believe that they're just either not been exposed to the idea of thinking outside of those norms, or they're afraid to do it. You know, or they're just not woke, if you will, or they're some people are just okay with status quo. They just want to stay out of the trouble. And
No, isn't it difficult though? I mean, let's say maybe 27-year-old young black woman. She has a degree, but the position that she wants is not necessarily I'm not going to say qualified for it, but she just doesn't feel like she fits in. She doesn't feel comfortable being around a majority of white males and maybe one or two black males. So it's really dominant men in the company, period. And then the ones that she sees of herself, they're in lower positions. So she's already feeling kind of inadequate. On top of that, she has her parents in her ear telling her, hey, be grateful for the job that you get. Don't be too bougie, blah, blah, blah. And then on the weekends, she's so frustrated with life. All she does is kick it, hang out with her girlfriend, spend a lot of money, credit's messed up, doesn't really make a whole lot. It's like lost, all the while hoping and wishing for God to bring her husband.
He ain't coming until you fix all of that. So this is the point about self-actualization. You should be able to walk into any room and know that you deserve to be there. Even if there are people who literally tell you you don't. You want to look at them as the problem, not you. And that comes with, again, if you did not get that as a child, if you weren't affirmed as a child that you were good enough, your thoughts were valid, and be you and unapologetic. If you don't get that at a younger age, then you grow up always seeking affirmation outside of yourself. It's hard for you to just say, I had this idea that I'm good enough, and live that. You need other people to keep pumping you up, and even still, you're afraid. So all of those other problems, the other imbalances that I call it, are a symptom, they're not the problem. So if she could just embrace the fact that this job, which is the stress that's causing all these other problems, that she deserves that job. And to be honest, find somebody, not just because it's a male-dominated environment does not mean it's that they're insensitive to her plight and her experience. Somebody could be like, wow, it must be difficult for you to be the first blah, blah, blah. So talk to people. You be honest. Don't necessarily feel like you're being weak or whatever if you are seeking to understand your coworkers. You don't have to seek their acceptance, but seek understanding them. And it could be that she's right, that they are going to try to sexually harass her and make things difficult for her. In that case, I say boss up. If you see your enemy and you know the threat, then you know how to operate. Or your other option is to run, which if you run, you're gonna always run. You're gonna always be running.
All right, now I'm playing the role of this same young girl. Now I hear what you're saying, Tanya. I heard you on the Manny Hall show. You was talking about how you ain't scared of nothing. Well, I'm afraid. I'm scared out of my mind. I have no idea how to do this. My parents, the most they've ever made is $35,000 a year. I've never seen anything more. Like, I grew up in a very rough neighborhood where if you went to college, like, praise the Lord, because ain't nobody else went in your family. What do I do? How do I get to this next step that you're talking about? Because it sounds so good. It sounds like I know it's something I want and desire, but I don't know how to take the steps to get there.
Lifestyle coach. No. Fear is not real. I know that sounds oversimplified, but if you think about it, if you're afraid of something, you attached fear to that thing. It's not real. There are people who are afraid of cotton balls. There are people who are afraid of, being vulnerable in a relationship. There are people who just jump off the cliff in relationships. So fear is something that you have to realize that you created, so only you can destroy it. But you cannot get rid of it if you don't acknowledge the fact that it is you doing it. You're afraid of something that you gave power to. And you also have the power to take that away. And that's a choice. To be honest, not everybody gonna get there. Not everybody's going to, I wish I could say that everybody eventually will reach a place where they're fearless and can live themselves 100%. But unfortunately, my experience has been the majority of people, fear dominates them and it takes their life to the very end. It controls them to the very end. They die afraid. Which is why another reason that I really, really want to get my face out there, and my mission is to make people realize that they are enough. You're enough.
So would you suggest, Tanya, that that young lady went out there and did it anyway, even though she was afraid?
There's a wonderful video on Will Smith's Instagram page. I'm not sure what it is, but Will Smith's official Instagram page where he talks about fear and about all you have to do is jump. The worst part about jumping is hesitating to jump. Like, you know, the longer you stand on that cliff and don't jump, this fear becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you just think like a child, you know, how they hadn't been hurt enough, haven't been disappointed enough to hesitate, they'll just run off a diving board and jump in and don't even know how to swim until they learn that that was the wrong thing to do. But you just have to jump. You gotta jump. The worst part is you standing there not jumping.
So have you ever had a time in your life where you were on that cliff?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Several times. Because if you're living your life and you are actually self-actualizing and living your real self, then your human nature is always going to pull you forward. So you're going to accomplish your goal. You're going to jump. You're going to land on your feet, or maybe roll around a bit, but eventually you're on your feet. And if you are the person that you're destined to be, you're going to stand up and you're going to start looking for the next cliff. So have I had that? Several times. I had that when I was, you know, I dropped out of high school as a 17-year-old pregnant girl. Dropped out of high school because 2 weeks after I realized I was pregnant, I was notified that my child's father passed away. That was my first cliff. Do I voluntarily become a single parent at the age of 17? I have a really strong family system which helped me make that decision without any pressure, but my decision was yes, I jumped. And to this day, my daughter is one of my best friends. And I know people say you can't be friends with your kids. That is not true. You have to have boundaries. But you should want to raise a person that you want to be friends with.
For sure.
And so have I jumped off that cliff 100 times. When I dropped out of high school to have my daughter, waited until she went to school to go and get my GED, and in that same summer, got my GED and registered for college at the age of 26. I never stopped looking for the cliff. I never let...
I like that, Tanya. So let's go back there. So you said you never stopped looking for the cliff.
Right.
So you're looking for that challenge. That next thing is going to expand your faith and take you deeper in an understanding of self-realization that, man, this is going to be hard and challenging, but I'm going after the next one.
Absolutely. Because after a while, you start living for the cliff. It's like you start out afraid, and then it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. You stand on that cliff less and less time, the more often you jump. It gets easier. You won't even hesitate. You just do it.
If you could tell your younger self one message, what would that be?
Realize the value of my experience sooner so that I can help people sooner.
Nice.
I hesitated because I didn't, like I said in the beginning of the interview, I felt like I was just talking. I was just, living my life, but I realized that I was changing people's lives by accident. Like I didn't even know, and someone will call or text me or email me and say something you said 5 years ago hurt my feelings, but I never forgot it. And to this day, it has been the best advice I ever got, for instance. And I've heard that several times where, Tanya, what you said hurt my feelings or it offended me. But I know deep in my heart, I said that from a good place, and so I'm not responsible for how you received it. I'm responsible for saying it with the right mindset and from my heart. So I would have just trusted that this was the thing I was supposed to do sooner, so I could have helped more people.
All right, name 5 people that are in your circle that are helping your journey right now.
We'll go by proximity. Nicole Lynn is my newly hired manager. She's been in my life for a long time. I was her weight loss coach, helped her lose over 60 pounds after having her son. We then started personal training together, completely transformed her body. But she's also one of my weight loss coaches, one of the people who go through my program and then become certified to themselves be weight loss coaches, which is another one of my businesses.
Nice.
She's one of my weight loss coaches, but she's always been in my corner, like from the very moment, even before we met. She said she was on Instagram, she saw something I was posting, she's like, when I have my baby, I'm going to find this lady, and she did. So she felt me through the screen, and she's been just non-stop one of my cheerleaders, so definitely her. You've heard me say my dad several times. He is my other best friend next to the third person, which is my daughter. She just gets me. It's so cool to have somebody that gets you. And I get her. Next, I would say, I have a cousin who's like a brother to me. His name is Tito Bradley. He's an author. He is like a brother to me. again, he gets me, and I get him, and we just have these real conversations that change both of our lives. Is really cool. And then the next person, I'm in a new relationship, so I feel kind of funny saying it, but I have a really cool boyfriend.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We've been together only about a year and a half, but he's helped me see a lot about myself, and he sees me and he accepts me on the craziness, the terms that that comes with me, and I like that.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So, on this journey that you're on, you know that there's going to be some ups and downs. You know it's not going to be easy. What would stop you from giving up?
Death.
So that's the only thing that would stop you?
Yes.
Okay. So you're never going to stop no matter what?
Absolutely.
No matter how hard it gets?
Absolutely not.
I love that. That's awesome. Now, what would you say to your audience as we wrap up?
I would say I would love to get to know you all better, and thank you for watching this video. And please follow me on Instagram at Lifestyled by TY, so at LIFESTYLEDBYTY. On Instagram, it's a brand new page, and I'm launching my first series, which is called the Free 90-Day Skinny Holiday Challenge, or Skinny Holiday Series. So I'm just going to be teaching you how to stay stress-free, cook right, eat right through the holidays, so you don't get overweight and sad and all that stuff.
For sure, that will happen with the itis.
Right.
All right, any last words?
Thank you. This has been a wonderful experience. This is actually my first interview as a lifestyle coach. So thank you for allowing me to use you as my guinea pig.
Oh, for sure. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
God bless. Bye.